We got out of there, mofos. Let's go.
Watch your language. There's kids around here.
I didn't say any curse words. What'd I say?
Just watch your language.
What'd I say?
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Yeah. Your kids can't read, though.
What are you talking about?
Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm sure your kids watch.
Get away from me.
You started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me. Watch your kids. Go walk away.
You got something to say, you motherfucker? Hey!
McKinley, back up.
What the fuck's your problem?
Fucking Michael Orr from fucking Blindside ass. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. I saw her shit. My bad. That's me. Shit.
L's in the chat.
What do you get when you mix a fake robbery, an OnlyFans fallout, and a millionaire YouTuber crying on podcasts? You get Jack Doherty, and he's in freefall. Just a few months ago, Jack was flexing sports cars, chains, and girls like it was an Instagram highlight reel. But lately, he's been exposed for insurance fraud allegations, manipulation, and a whole new level of internet desperation. And it all started when the money and the girl disappeared. Headlines after claiming he was robbed at gunpoint in Beverly Hills. He said the thief took his $300,000 chain, tackled him to the ground, and held a gun to his head. Sounds traumatic, right? Except there were no injuries, no bruises, no real evidence, just a suspiciously well-timed story following a brutal breakup with his OnlyFans girlfriend, who also happened to be his biggest moneymaker. The internet started asking questions. Was this just a sad attempt at insurance fraud? A way to grab sympathy and maybe a payout? Even McKinley, his ex, seemed to think it was shady. She later claimed Jack filmed her right after the incident. Not to console her, but to get TikTok clips. Because when Jack sees a gun pointed at someone's head, he doesn't call for help, he films it. Trying to save face, Jack went on the No Jumper podcast with Adam22, a man whose own reputation has been dragged through the mud. And somehow, Jack still came off worse. He tried to talk shop, pivot the narrative, but within minutes, he was whining about his ex, trying to prove the relationship was real. It was a car crash, emotionally all over the place, bragging 1 second and crying up the next. Adam, infamous for letting another man rail his wife on camera. His words, not ours. We even had the upper hand in this conversation. That's how bad it was. At one point, Jack even tried to clown Adam for his past. But when you're debating who's the bigger pimp, the guy who sold out his wife versus the guy who groomed girls into OnlyFans, nobody wins. Adam, infamous for letting another man rail his wife on camera. His words, not ours. We even had the upper hand in this conversation. That's how bad it was. At one point, Jack even tried to clown Adam for his past. But when you're debating who's the bigger pimp, the guy who sold out his wife versus the guy who groomed girls into OnlyFans, nobody wins. Then came the accidental confession. Jack basically admitted he was the one who encouraged her to start OnlyFans. He tried to word it like it was mutual. But come on, the pattern is clear. Jack finds young, impressionable girls, convinces them they'll be rich if they start posting, and then takes a cut. Most of the girls, he says, are older than him, but he slipped up. He said most, not all. That means some of these girls were likely just 18 and freshly legal when Jack stepped in to manage them. It's not just sleazy, it's predatory, and it's become his business model. And when McKinley left, so did the income stream. Jack lost his influencer, his OnlyFans percentage, and probably the nicest car in his fleet. So what does he do? He spirals. On the podcast, Jack got emotional. Again, talking about how hard it was to go from being with someone every day to nothing. He claimed it wasn't about the money. I'll make that back quick. He said, "It's the time we spent I can't replace." Touching, right? Except within 2 days, he was already with someone who looked exactly like McKinley, like freakishly similar. Bro replaced his Tesla Model X with a Model Y and thought nobody would notice. And this is the same Jack who bashed her during the breakup, called her toxic, accused her of betrayal, yet only to turn around and act heartbroken on camera. Pick a lane, Jack. You can't trash someone one day and mourn them the next unless you're mourning the direct deposit. McKinley quickly moved on, appearing on streamer Lacy's stream in some of the most cringe-inducing flirting ever seen. While they're playing public lovebirds, Jack is in the chat donating, trying to win her attention back, giving money to the guy allegedly replacing him. He drops 25 gifted subs, then 45. It's desperation dressed up as generosity. Lacy eventually claps back, says Jack thinks everything is about money, that he'd rather be broke and decent than rich and delusional. And honestly, it was the most base thing said in the entire video. Back to the robbery for a moment. McKinley later said Jack filmed her right after the incident, not to comfort her, not to help, to get clips for TikTok, and it checks out. Jack has a history of this. He once filmed his own friend bleeding from the face after a car crash. Instead of helping, he grabbed his phone. He doesn't see tragedy, he sees content. Even when someone's been through a literal gunpoint robbery, Jack's first thought isn't safety. It's, how can I go viral? This man would watch someone get hit by a bus and start doing the gritty. Jack admits he watches hate videos about himself, even says he loves MoistCr1TiKaL's breakdowns. Imagine getting torn apart online and saying, I love that guy. He claims people are too harsh, that they don't get him. But when asked to name one false accusation, he can't. Literally nothing. Just everything they say is wrong, except it's not, because he ends up admitting that he's not even rage baiting. He's just naturally an a-hole. He says he's trying to change the narrative, trying to give back. But where? When? How? There's no evidence of that. All we've seen is manipulation, public meltdowns, and endless L's. Jack Doherty built an empire on controversy. He baited, flexed, and faked his way into viral fame. But the problem with being a clown is eventually, people stop laughing, the girlfriend is gone, the fake robbery didn't fool anyone, and his own fans are starting to turn. This isn't just a breakup, it's a collapse. Financial, emotional, and reputational. Jack, if you're watching this, maybe it's time to log off, grow up, and stop filming every train wreck like it's a content opportunity. Because when your whole life becomes a TikTok clip, don't be surprised when no one wants to watch the full movie.